I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with a 3-minute cattle market update for Wednesday, October the 19th. Do you have fescue problems? You know, Brangus cattle have a natural heat tolerance and can stand the higher body temperature levels caused by the endophytes and the toxic levels in the fescue grass. Build with Brangus to build your bottom line. For more information or to find a breeder near you, visit gobrangus.com. You know, it looks like we got some solid footing here finally, and I don't take that very lightly. You know, even though the board's just been up moderately this week, it really feels a little bit better than when we had those limit up moves there while this thing was being really volatile. But you know, there's several reasons to think that maybe fundamentally we've found a bottom here. We've kind of matched up with the board and the cash, and we're getting here towards the end of the October contract. It looks like that's going to be pretty close. Our next month out, December, is trading at a premium to where we're at right now, so that's positive. These packers have really gone out and tried to buy cattle with days on them, like last week. Probably close to 25% of the trade was for 2 to 3 weeks out, which doesn't really help for the leverage trading on down the road. But those packers wouldn't be trying to buy those cattle out front at the same levels as last week if they thought this market was going to keep going down. And it just looks like we've got a little bit of support on your box beef levels, and things are looking like they've just about bottomed out, which thank goodness it's gotten low enough. But look at your live cattle futures on the December contract. Monday was up $1.55. Tuesday up just 22 cents, but kind of staved off some pressure there middle of the day. To end the day on Tuesday at 99.22. Your October spot contract was up 47 on Tuesday to end the day at 97.75. Feeder cattle on November, Monday was up 157. Tuesday was up 80 cents to end the day at 118.02. Your October spot contract was up 32 cents on Tuesday at 122.02. But as you look at your weighted average on last week's trade, on 86,700 head in the 5 area feeding region there, your live steers averaged 97.59, which was down 331 compared to the previous week. Dress steers 153.93, which was down 510. But you look at your corn harvest is just about 46% done, and that was at the start of the week. So we're over half done now with your corn. We're going to get 2 big shots in the arm to your feeder cattle and calf markets here just within the next couple of weeks. One is your corn, especially your western corn belt there, is going to be start to wrapping things up. And even a week or so before they wrap things up, they know they're about done. They'll go ahead and put some orders in for some cattle to feed. So we're going to be getting at the end of harvest there. So some of these farmer feeders, and there'll be a lot of them this time because corn is not at a big price, and cattle are cheap. Feeder cattle, of course, we know fats are cheap too, but still that will behoove them to feed a few more cattle. So we're going to get a little boost in demand from your farmer feeders. Also, we're going to have more areas that have seen a hard frost. And anytime you see a hard frost, after we get through that, then it's going to be a lot easier to straighten these cattle up. A lot of guys are having a ton of problems with these cattle breaking on them really hard. And it's mostly due to all these airborne illnesses, which will be mostly killed once we get a hard frost. And we won't see such wide ranges in temperature swings once we get a hard frost in some areas. I know down here in the Amarillo area, early in the week, the high was 95, but middle of the week, the high is 65, and it's just up and down, and people don't feel good, and elementary school kids are sure getting sick with all that. And that's the same thing that goes for these unweaned calves when you get them in and try to straighten them out, especially your shipped ins with all that shipping fever and stress that's caused by that. Look at Oklahoma City on a Monday, that 5,900 head. Feeders are mostly steady, spots up to $3 lower, but some firmness in there. And not compared to the previous week, but a little bit of support in the market there, I'm trying to say. Mostly steady was a great thing. But we saw some firmness in your calf market wean calves and lightweight steady to $2 higher. That's the first time we've seen a higher calf market in a long time. Some of your unweaned fleshy ballers as much as $10 lower, and that's where it's really getting hit. And you can pick some of those up really cheap, but after you lose 5 or 10% of them, they don't seem cheap anymore. But Joplin on Monday had 3,800 head. Kind of hard to tell the market. They had a fill-in relief reporter there and calling the market kind of wild. But if you look at Cattle Market Central, which is always steady and consistent there, your lightweights were as much as $15 cheaper on your peewee calves, and just probably missing an order there or something. But your middleweight calves were weak to $5 lower. True yearlings not well tested there, but you look at some Cattle Market Central quotes there. In Russell, Iowa on Monday, they had a load of yearlings about just before noon, about 11:30. Had 65 head of them, weighed 767 at 136. Now that would be an awful good market for right now with some cattle like that, and that's way above your CME cash cattle index, and it's also way above your real-time index on Cattle Market Central. But look at some calf quotes out of Phillips, South Dakota. They didn't have near the sale they had a week ago, because the previous week they were having that special with like 10,000 head on there, but a little less than 3,000 head, but still a lot of calves to sell up in that country. In Phillips, South Dakota, you look at all these load lots of 5-weight calves, and they would be the good ones there, and most of them selling in the low to mid 130s, but a few of the fleshier types there down into the 120s there, and that's a long ways from where they've been selling them the last few years. But that's 3 minutes, and we'll talk to you on Friday.